Welcome to this quick summary of SPACEX's IFT3 launch, taken from our longer episode IFT3 Post Mortem, where we go into greater detail for each event on the launch manifest and do some commentary on the commentary. This synopsis is meant to be shared as a quicker explanation for how the launch actually went, versus how it was reported in the media. To do that, we're going to refer to this infographic put out by TonyBella.com. To summarize what the mainstream media is largely calling a successful launch, let's go through the graphic from the top. At 1, we watched a successful liftoff of the stacked combined vehicle at 9:25 EDT. At 2, the ship survived max Q at T plus 110 compared to the estimation of T plus 52 seconds. At 3A, hot staging happened at T plus 248, pretty much right in line with Tony's prediction, and so far so good. At 3B, the 13 booster Raptors fired back up for a boost-back burn. At 3C, this is where it started to go off the rails. While the grid fins did appear to steer the booster back towards Boca Chica, although that has not been confirmed, they did not manage to do so in a controlled manner, and it's more obvious towards the end of that flight when the fins are trying frantically to get the ship back under control. 3C also claims methane venting would be used to rotate Super Heavy, but the tanks were pretty much dry. Partial marks on 3C, but 3D is where the first obvious failures occur. Of the 13 Raptors that were supposed to reignite, only 3 did, and 2 of those 3 did not manage to remain lit. As a result, 3E did not happen. The hover and soft landing that were supposed to be part of the mission parameters could not be executed. Also, it apparently blew up. Moving back up to the top, Step 4 calls for the ship to reach orbital velocity before the 6 Raptors shut down. The ship did not reach that speed of 28,800 km per hour, falling over 2,300 km per hour short of that target at an altitude of 150 km. Step 5 was the Pez dispenser door demo. From the available footage in the live feed, the door did not appear to open fully, but that may have been a result of the angle from the camera monitoring it. We note that before the door was opened, the ship was not spinning, and after the payload bay vented is when the spinning began. Step 6 was the LOX transfer from the header to the main tank. If the test was conducted, it did not noticeably affect the level of LOX in the target tank, so we have no indication that the test took place. Step 7 was the attempt to close the payload bay door, which looked to suffer an additional error, as the last frames of the door show it to be more open than at any other point during the flight. So we're going to revise Step 5 as a failure, using Step 7 as proof the door did not operate as intended, and the failure to open at the 12-minute mark would confirm that. At Step 8, Starship Raptor relight was completely skipped over, despite the need to prove that ability for the success of future missions. Step number 9, the controlled descent of the craft did not happen. The Step 10 deceleration from orbital velocity didn't happen. And Step 11, intended soft belly flop landing, did not happen to terminate the flight safely at a known point of the Indian Ocean. Given that the craft re-entered the atmosphere 3 minutes ahead of time in an uncontrolled manner, it's safe to say that Starship 28 did not land where they had intended it to. Now, when you compare this mission arc to their definition of a successful mission, which would be all green check marks, would you say that Starship looks like a vehicle capable of the missions before it? We would say not. That wraps up the quick breakdown. If you'd like to watch our full analysis of the launch, click here. And thank you in advance for sharing this video with your friends.